Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Open Table Adventures. As always, I'm Dan the Baker. We are back today with Table Talks, our little TTRPG content creator talkback show where we interview some of our favorite, hopefully your favorite, TTRPG content creators. Today I have with me AJ. Hi, AJ. How are you doing?
Hi, how are I'm doing good.
I'm also good, thank you.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about yourself. Sell yourself on us a little bit.
Yeah, so I'm AJ. I also go by Husha_kid on the internet. I am the technical producer of Critical Misses, a TTRPG AP streaming channel. Uh, I also do video editing. I I transcribe, and I am a TTRPG performer. I Most of my content is mostly either on TikTok or Twitch. I'm trying to push all my content onto YouTube now. Uh, but yeah, just that's me. That's what I do. I'm a little all over the place.
A little bit of
Uh,
everything.
you you it My friend once told me that it was just like, it's always surprising that I hear about a project and then it's like, oh wait, AJ was also on this.
It's good to be useful. Hey, thank you so much for coming on. I'm so happy to get a chance to talk to you. We played together on in Blood Island, the Monster Hearts game
Yes.
together, which was so much
Yes, we
fun.
did.
Um,
That is such a good game, such a great
Such a good game.
concept.
Yeah,
And
Madeline
uh
did so good running that.
it was it was I feel like it was very cathartic for some people of just being like, yeah, these executives are not paying their actors and writers
Mm,
correctly.
yeah, very
We should
serendipitous.
we should do something about
Yeah. It's weird because, Madeline never does commentary on anything going on in the world.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah. I'd love to start just talking about how did you get into, because, mostly you talk about you do a lot of editing and a lot of behind the scenes stuff. How did you get into that? Like, what was your foray into that kind of side of the business?
So with editing, editing has been one of my first loves ever since I was like early YouTube days.
Hmm.
Uh like I My inspirations were early Rocket Jump videos, so like video game high school,
Hmm.
all those silly videos that Freddie Wong used to do. And I was just like, wow, video editing, I could do that. And I did it every so often, here and there. I dipped into stop motion a little bit with with Legos.
Hmm.
Don't find those. Those were horrible. Those were horrible Lego bits.
Stop motion's hard to
So,
do. I commend you for even trying.
um, and yeah, I've always been into video editing.
Hmm.
Uh, and but it's one of those things that is just like when you're in high school, it's like, oh yes, I can do these things. And then when I got to college, I was like, maybe I should try something a bit more practical. Uh, and I went into engineering at first, and that didn't really go well.
Hmm.
And then I was just like, I just got to go back to what I know and what I like. And like, I started working, doing some media. Like, I was a junior graphic designer for a little bit, uh, and I was always still editing videos with my friends, and it was just like, I'm just might as well go into digital media. Just
Hmm.
like, let me just get a broad topic of it and let's go into it. Um, and yeah, I've just been editing videos here and there. I made a couple of my own things, but no like big breakout film, like indie film kind of things. But
Yeah.
I help out my friend who is a producer. She One of the things that we made during the pandemic, which I really enjoyed, was her Glimpses series, and that was a series of of visual poems.
Oh, cool.
And I was able to help shoot one of them. I fully edited one of them, and just helping her out with that project was really fun. And I was like, oh yeah, this is why I like being a video editor. I like bringing people's ideas to life, or being able to help them bring them to life.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of times the artistry of like editing, of video editing, is like it kind of like people ignore that a little, but like it is an art form. Like it is as much important as like the writing, the filming. Like that's like it's the culmination of all of that, really.
Yeah, it's just bringing everything together of just like everything that has been put into work in all the pre-production, all the production is all good, but it doesn't matter unless it comes all together in the end with all the post-production of making sure all the cuts are correct, making sure that the audio is synced up, making sure that the correct music is part of it, and giving the right feeling to these videos.
Yeah, it's like making a diamond ring but not polishing it, Like it's gonna be okay, but it's not gonna be great until you get that. Exactly. And then what was your step into, I guess, the TTRPG side of it?
So, I started off with D&D back 2015. My girlfriend at the time had introduced me to it, and she was into Critical Role. That was intimidating to me.
Yeah.
I found Adventure Zone. That's how I got into it.
Same.
So Adventure Zone was my gateway, and then up until I was just playing D&D mostly. I got into a group for a bit. We played D&D. We played Call of Cthulhu. We played one of the Star Wars games. I don't remember which one.
There's a handful.
That one was really fun. That one was really fun. That one was a game in which it's one of the greatest moments that I ever had, was that we were playing at the table, and then somewhere probably like halfway through the game, we ended up standing up in the living room, acting out what we were doing. We were not rolling any dice. We were not looking at any character sheets. We were fully in our characters, just acting out what was happening. You
LARPed. You were LARPing.
Yeah, we LARPed. We fully just LARPed. And that is a memory that sticks in my brain so much. I'm like, that was such a good moment. And then later, then pandemic hit. I signed up to play test a Power Ranger game, which ended up not really going anywhere. But that is where I met Anita of Critical Misses, and with her, I met them there, and then met Noir, and then fully they just brought me into the whole space. Also during that time, like jumping onto TikTok, I had entered into a raffle competition with Misty Mountain Legends, and they were just like, oh, we're gonna do like this one shot thing. I got to play in that one shot, and then it ended up being a campaign with Fowl and Friends, and that
rest is
those
history.
were my the rest is history. Those were my first two like major steps of like with Misty Mountain Legends and Critical Misses.
Cool. Yeah, I feel like it is such a common thing of like, oh, I was playing D&D TTRPGs, then the pandemic hit, then I started being a content creator.
Yeah.
And like getting on TikTok. That's like, I've interviewed probably like a dozen or so people at this point, and like almost all of them were like, yeah, it was when the pandemic hit that it really started getting full swing.
It's just like, I have nothing to do today.
Yeah.
I might as well just post a video on TikTok.
Yeah, might as well. And then once you get those likes, once you start getting likes and follows, you're like, oh no, This
Oh
is
gosh, I'm being noticed. Oh
yeah,
no, I like it.
yeah.
This is dopamine. Oh no.
hmm Um, I guess between like being behind the camera, between editing and on being on camera, which is your like? What do you prefer? Like, what's your favorite?
It's so tough.
hmm
It's so tough. Like for me, I really do enjoy performing. I really do. But I feel like it's just I get so upset when I find out that the GM is also teching the stream,
hmm
because I'm just like, focus on your game. I want you to focus on your game. I don't want you to care about what's happening on the stream. I want you to focus on your story, focus on the game that you're playing, and I will tech your stream.
hmm
I will handle what is happening behind the scenes, so you could just fully focus and not worry about what's happening behind the scenes.
hmm
So it's tough to choose because I really enjoy both. I I don't know if I can choose, honestly.
That's okay. It is a tough decision. I didn't think you would have like a solid
Yeah,
like. If you said one or the other outright, I'd be like, oh, okay, wow.
yeah. It was the same thing in high school, because in high
hmm
school I was in theater,
hmm
but surprise, surprise, I was a theater kid. I
So
was in drama club.
every content TTRPG content creator has done like theater or film or something. It's my yeah.
I was in drama club, but
hmm
I was also in AV club.
Oh, okay.
So I had to balance being a lead, not because I was skilled, but because I was one of the only guys.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, I was skilled for a high schooler, you know.
hmm
I mean, we're not talking Broadway here, um, but yeah, just being a lead and also doing mic checks and making sure
hmm
everyone has their batteries and whatnot.
Yeah.
Uh, so like that is always I've always been in front of the camera, behind the camera.
hmm
Like I used to volunteer for a church in which I was doing live uh, live streaming camera
hmm
operating. So I was operating cameras, I was mixing the streams, and then I was also in youth choir. So I was
Yeah.
in front of the cameras, performing in front of the cameras. So I've always had this dual
hmm
in front of the screen, behind the screen kind of
Yeah.
life.
Inside you, there are two wolves for sure. Um,
Inside, one's in front of the screen
mhm.
wearing pastel colors and jeans. The other one
Oh no.
is wearing dark is wearing just dark
All black.
a
Yeah.
dark shirt and sweatpants.
Oh goodness. Um, yeah, I was talking to one of my friends who was like also does TTRPG streamers. We were talking about how it takes a village to really like have a successful stream because like you said when you have if like you're the person who's running the game and also running the stream like your focus is so split that one of them or both of them is going to fall through the cracks, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
like you need a person doing the like making sure the stream is going. You need someone to be like modding the chats and like all this and like it's not as easy as people might think, which I don't think people think it's easy in the first place, but
Yeah, it's definitely something. Like because like a couple of times I've had to, as a player, like I'm playing the game and I'm also checking the stream,
hmm
and sometimes that gets hard because it's just like I'm trying to pay attention, but also I'm noticing something is wrong going on with the stream, so I'm trying to troubleshoot it at the same time. And someone's like, "Hey, there's something wrong with the stream." I was like, "I'm working on it. I'm
yeah.
doing it." And then
So
it's
I'm also
just
trying to
like,
role play here. Like, look at
and
me a sec.
I'm also trying to cast some spells and pay attention
hmm
and try to make sure that my quips are correct and fits into the scene.
hmm
Uh, so it really does take. I really feel like it does take a load off of GM's shoulders, of when you have someone else that is teching the stream
Mm-hmm.
and have someone else that is talking with the chat, so they could just focus on the game, focus on the story that they're telling. And because that's why we're all here. We're all here to hear the story. We're all here to enjoy the game. So why have those things hinder you?
Mm-hmm. Kind of stepping away from the content creation part of it and focusing just on the TTRPG stuff. Are you're primarily just a player? Do you ever run games or do you like to stay on the other side?
I've run a couple of games. I've mostly just ran D&D games. I haven't GM'd a different game yet. I do have plans to. I'm not entirely confident in it. I definitely don't think I am at the confidence or preparedness to do one on stream, even though I do have a project coming up in which I am DMing for a pre-recorded thing. But even then, I'm just like, it could have been better.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been better. But I mostly do GM private games.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I do every so often I GM for events.
Okay, cool. As a player, do you have an archetype or a stereotype that you fall into with your characters, or are you more all over the place? I'm more all over the place, so I could not answer this question, but
I try to be a little bit all over the place, just specific, but for a lot of it, most of the time, one of my defaults is just going to be I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna be a big guy and I'm gonna hit you. Yeah. That's usually my go-to. But I do try to expand that. I've been a couple of characters that I have been lately is just just a snarky little asshole.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of what Jax, your girl from Blood Island, was a little snarky, but also very charismatic.
I try to go for more now, just kind of the charismatic kind of guy, just you either love him or you hate him, or you love to hate him. He's
kind of almost fratty, little douchey, but maybe it has a heart of gold.
Mm-hmm, exactly. Yeah. So it's really I try to expand on a lot of different tropes. There's one time that I played an old wizard dude who had just gotten his magic, and he's 40. He went to school for being a wizard, and he's getting out and adventuring into the world as he's a 40-year-old with a little penguin familiar. Mm-hmm. And
we're gonna skip over you calling 40-year-olds old people, because it's alienating so many of our audience.
I'm sorry. When I played that, I was 20. It felt old to me then, but now that I'm closer, I'm maybe it's not. But I mostly go for big bruisers, but I am trying to go out a little bit more out of my comfort zone and play different characters, ranged characters or magic characters.
It's that transition from more martial brute characters into spellcasters is tough. It's so hard. Usually for D&D, it's you usually go from non-caster paladin then into caster. That's it. That's the transitionary period. Are there elements of yourself that you like to put into your characters, or do you try to keep that more separate?
Literally every single one of my characters are me. There is not one character that I haven't felt something for. Mm-hmm. It's just like, yes, this character. You embody all of my anxiety. Cool, thank
Mm-hmm.
you. All right, you go away
Yeah.
now. You
It's
go.
your inside out emotions, but they're all your TTRPG characters.
Exactly. They're
Yeah.
just constantly in my head.
Yeah, that's
There,
so valid.
there is one character that I'm playing in which is basically the embodiment of me trying to confess feelings to a crush,
Mm.
and the other players in that game were feeling big secondhand embarrassment
Yeah.
when certain scenes came up, and I was just like, "You think you're feeling embarrassed? I'm feeling pretty embarrassed right now."
I'm having firsthand embarrassment. Yeah. I think it's nice. There's that kind of catharsis when you have elements of yourself in those characters, like especially when they get to have the success story, like get to have that happy ending.
Yeah, and I always I wrote for my college essay. I wrote based off of performing in not in TTRPGs. I wasn't playing TTRPGs in high school. In performing on stage, and it's just like, I think I titled it "The Character Within," and it's just, you're always essentially, whenever you're making a TTRPG character, you are always going to put a little bit of yourself in it. It's hard to not to. Like, it's very hard not to put a little bit of yourself into it. And like, make sure you're taking the safety precautions so you don't encounter things like bleed. Because that can get really dangerous. It could be catharsis in some ways, but
Yeah. Boundaries are nice, for sure.
Boundaries are good, yes.
Yeah.
Boundaries are very good.
Yeah. Between you and your character, and between, like, the whole table is also, that's just all communication. Communication, boundaries, it's all a relationship,
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's just, personally, I feel like I can't get into my character unless I do have something that I relate to them with. Like, for example, Jax is very charismatic. I've been told that I'm very charismatic. I don't see it a lot, but I've been told that I'm very charismatic. But it's just, Jax is literally me leaning into someone that's a little bit more confident in themselves, a little bit more just like, yes, going with the flow of everything, also very flirtatious, also very, and that's what I think most TTRPG characters are, is just like, you're just leaning into one aspect of yourself.
Yeah. It's like a caricature almost.
Exactly. It's like, it's not totally you, but you could see yourself in it in some way.
For sure. I'd love to take a minute just to talk about outside of, TTRPG, outside of the table and all that. Like, what kind of stuff do you like to do? Like, what do you get into? Like, you talked about, you played like a Star Wars game. Do you like Star Wars, Star Trek, like all that stuff as well?
Oh yeah, I love Star Wars. I'm a big anime nerd. My biggest, I talk about it a lot more now, is One Piece. I'm big into One Piece. Love it so much. I just take in a lot of different medias. Mostly just because it's just like, yes, this is kind of my field of just like, I need to know what's going on in the world. I need to intake all these different kind of medias and be like, all right, cool. Like, I can do like this kind of shot. I can do this kind of shot. I'm very annoying sometimes when I watch certain movies or live streams that like, if I watch a concert, I'm just like, all right, cool. We're going to switch to this camera. All right, cool. Let's get a panning shot right now. Yeah, cool. All right. And like, sometimes when I watch movies, I'll just be like, there's a continuity error right there. That cup was actually over there.
Yeah, there's a Starbucks cup in that Game of Thrones scene. Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, I consume a bunch of media. I love anime, love video games, um, and I just have like a huge compiled media list of. I try to keep track of like all the media that I've been consuming. At first, it was just movies, but now it's become movies, TV shows, books, video games,
Hmm. All the
uh,
entertainment.
all the different entertainments. Are coming slowly
Hmm.
because that books have always been a thing that I have a little trouble with just reading because it just makes me tired. I just want to go to bed after I read like three
Yeah.
pages.
It's
But
yeah, it's hard also because just like assuming you seem to like be more of like a visual person, like you like having all the like visual stimulus. With books, it's just I have to create that in my head. You're just giving me the words for it.
yeah, but I mean, it depends on the book,
Yeah,
really, because like some authors are really good with their word
their
pictures,
imagery. Yeah.
their imagery, uh, and I'll just crush through the book.
Hmm.
But others is a little bit difficult for me, but I try my best.
Yeah. Hey, it's a marathon, not a race.
Yeah, which is why I'm currently I currently read mostly just trashy romance novels.
Mm.
Uh,
It's still
I
reading.
just yeah, but I mean they're usually shorter
Hmm.
than a lot of other books. Like I just got this book, If the Shoe Fits. Um, I haven't started reading it yet, but it's there.
Yeah.
But and I've been a difficult book that I've been trying to get through for me is How to Win the Time War. I've been trying to
Mm.
get through that. It's a little
Dense.
rough for
Yeah.
me. It's a little
Mm.
it's a little dense for me,
Yeah. um,
but I'm getting through it.
yeah, getting there. That's the important. You're trying. That's the important part, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to get that literacy up,
Hmm.
I'm trying to see that skill in my literacy go up.
Yeah, your Sims bar filling
Yeah.
up. um, I'd love to. One final question I have for you is: do you have any, I guess, like advice or words of wisdom for people who want to step into that like video editing world? That behind the camera stuff. Do you have any advice for those people?
For video editing,
Hmm.
um a lot of times, a good place to start is AMVs. I love AMVs. AMVs were the bread and butter back in old YouTube.
Hmm.
Now they're called fan cams. Uh, but take a piece of media that you like, whether it be anime, a certain character, um, and just edit it to a song. Editing on just cutting on beat is probably one of the most simplest things that you can do.
Hmm.
Uh, it it doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to cut, see how you feel about it. You could add a little je ne sais quoi to it with like fade, like cross dissolves
Hmm.
and fade to blacks and whatnot.
Crash
Um,
zooms. Yeah.
Crash zooms, exactly. I haven't used it yet personally because I'm just like, this app is trying to take my job away. But uh, I hear CapCut is really
Hmm.
good. It does a lot. There's a lot of templates that you can just plug your stuff into, and
Yeah.
it'll do a lot of the legwork for you. Um, and also, just look at YouTube. Look at your favorite YouTubers. See what they do. Uh, like like I said, my inspiration was Freddie Wong. Uh, uh, a lot of before they became Corridor Digital, a lot of the people that are in Corridor Digital uh, were my inspirations. Just look at videos that you enjoy and see if you can replicate that style. See if you can find your own style to it, or see if you can find something that is like, you know what, I can do that. Just take your time with it, because one thing, video editing is all about patience.
It's all about rewatching the same clip 10 million times to make sure you get it right.
Yeah, and also save often, because that software is going to crash on you at least 3 or 4 times per session.
That's
It just happens.
Yeah, that's advice for any person who's a creative that works on the computer. Save like every like I don't see every like 5 minutes, like or anytime you change something, you know.
Literally just put like a do Promoto, but have it just remind you to save.
Yeah. Great. That was lovely advice. I'm sure, you know, some people out there can hear that and get some good inspiration. But that now we are going to move on to the game portion of our interview. Today I have a game I've made for you that I'm calling Actual Play. Which is my spin on, you know, Dropouts. Actually, I have here 5 actual play, very popular actual play shows. I have 3 facts for each of them. 2 of them are true. 1 of them has some sort of falsity in it. I will, you know, one by one read you the facts, and you tell me which one is false.
All right.
How level like 1 to 10? How confident do you think you'd be on this?
All right. It depends. So, if it has anything to do with Adventure Zone, it has to be early. So balance, I kind of know. I remember a lot of it. I don't know anything about Critical Role. I don't know anything Critical Role. D20, I know a lot.
Okay.
I'm a little bit more confident with D20.
That's 3 of the 5 listed are yeah.
Oh boy. What are the other 2? Oh no.
We'll get to it. All right. So we'll start off actually then with Dimension 20. So first fact, it started in 2018, one of the first shows to premiere on Dropout.tv, formerly College Humor. As of the time of filming, as of right now, there have been 20 seasons, starting with Fantasy High and now Burrow's End. 8 have been with the main cast, the Intrepid Heroes, and 12 have been side quests. And then, of the side quest, Erika Ishii has appeared in the most seasons of side quests.
Okay. I know Erika has showed up Misfits of Magic, Escape the Bloodkeep, Burrow's End. What else was she? What were they in? I feel like there was another one they were in, and I cannot remember. But I feel like that's right.
Look at me. Look at me.
There's 7?
No, the 7.
Oh,
they were in the 7.
There's 7. And I only need 3.
Yeah.
Okay. I believe that Erika Ishii was in the most of them. Of the side quests. Yes. Because I was like, Lou? No. Lou's hasn't been in that many side quests. It started in 2018.
Yeah. One of the first shows to be on Dropout. And there have been 20 seasons, 8 Intrepid Hero, 12 side quests.
Now, we're counting all the different seasons of like Fantasy High and Unsleeping City as like separate.
Separate, yeah. The only one that's combined is Misfits and Magic and the Christmas special are one. They're kind of in their one season.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I think it's started in 2018 is false.
That, unfortunately, is incorrect. It was that Erica
Dang.
Ishii has appeared in the most side quests.
Oh no! What?
Erica has appeared in 5, but
Okay.
Abria Iyengar has appeared in 6. So, yeah.
Oh, Bria.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Which is funny because most of them they were in together. So,
yeah. So it's the 7, Mistress of Magic,
mm-hmm.
uh, uh, A Court of Fey and Flowers,
yeah,
Ravening War.
the one that's happening right now.
Oh, Burrow's End. Yes. What is? Oh, they were in the Leviathan.
Pirates of Leviathan. Yeah,
Okay.
it's tricky. I know. All right, you were close. I was like, oh, you might get it because you were focusing on that last one. Okay. The next one, I don't know. You might not know this one because I don't know if you have listened to Not Another D&D podcast.
Oh, not God.
Yeah.
I don't think I've listened past their first. Not
Okay.
the first arc.
The first campaign.
Yeah, the first campaign.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, we'll see. You might get it. So NADPOD also premiered in 2018, earlier in 2018 than Dimension 20, with Brian Murphy, Emily Axford, Jake Hurwitz, and Caldwell Tanner as the main cast. They have had 3 full campaigns, all in completely unique settings. And they've had several guests throughout the podcast, both in the main campaigns and in side campaigns, including Brennan Lee Mulligan, Adam Conover, Siobhan Thompson, Lou Wilson, and so many more.
Okay. Okay. They did. I do believe they started earlier than D20 because I feel like that's how I found out about D20.
Mm-hmm.
I know they had 2 arcs. I don't know if they had 3. And the guest, yes, because they've had. I know they had Zach Oyama on there, and I think there was I actually don't know if that was, no, that was a, I don't remember if that was a D20 live stream or if that was a NADPOD live stream that they were at a camp. Man, I'm gonna go with the second one. That three campaigns in 3 different settings. I don't think it's that one.
That's correct. So they have had 3 campaigns. They're in their 3rd one right now, but campaign 1 and campaign 3 are both in Bohemia. Campaign 2 is in a separate setting. I don't remember where.
Because I think I did listen to a little bit of campaign 2. I don't think I finished it.
Yeah, but yeah, campaign 3 is set several years after the first campaign, so it's the campaign after the campaign after the campaign.
Wow.
Yeah. Up next, we have Dungeons and Daddies.
I've listened to the first campaign. I was not a fan of listening to the second campaign.
I haven't listened to the second campaign yet, so But it first premiered in 2019, run by Anthony Birch, with players Beth May, Will Campos, Freddie Wong, and Matt Arnold. The first season consists of this group of dads being transported into the Forgotten Realms while on the way to a baseball tournament. They've also had a handful of short campaigns and one-shots in systems like D&D 5e, Call of Cthulhu, and Edge of the Empire.
I know this one. They were going to a soccer game, not a baseball game.
Correct. That was my easy one for you, if you had listened to it at least.
Oh,
So, but you can be confident with it. Someone else might not have gotten
yeah.
that. Who knows? All right, number 4 is Critical Role, which you said you weren't super confident about. So let's
This
see.
isn't going to be a crapshoot.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about Critical Role.
So Critical Role started streaming in 2015. That is also when it started. It incorporated, starting its LLC, the Critical Role Foundation. Matt Mercer has been the CEO since 2019. The first campaign actually started 2 years before they started to start streaming as a Pathfinder game, a Pathfinder 2e. In 2019, they started a Kickstarter to start doing an animated version of their first campaign, Legends of Vox Machina. It raised over $11 million and was then picked up by Amazon, the first season premiering in 2022.
Isn't Travis the CEO?
Is that your answer?
I think it's Travis that's the CEO. I don't think it's not Matt. It's not Matt that's the CEO. I think it's Travis.
That is correct. That is absolutely correct. Yeah,
Okay.
Travis is the CEO, and then Matt is the chief creative officer, CCO. I was hoping I would switch. If you would switch up on that one a little bit, but you got it. So
if I know anything, it's that
the LLC.
I remember that one that one clip from an interview of just like, it's like, hey Travis, why are you the CEO?
Mm-hmm.
No, that's a good question.
Yeah. Great. So now we're on to our last one, which was your first one, the Adventure Zone. So the Adventure Zone started in 2014, only around a month after the D&D 5e starter campaign was released, or starter kit was released. The first few sessions actually first premiered on My Brother and Me. They were all pre-filmed in order to cover for Justin McElroy's paternity leave that was going to be happening. Over the last nearly 10 years, they've played in several systems other than D&D, including Blades in the Dark, Monster of the Week, Kids on Bikes, and Urban Shadows. I also can repeat any of those. I know I said them really fast.
No, okay. Yes, they started. It did start in My Brother and Me. Yeah, that makes sense that it started after the starter kit because they were all playing with basically starter characters right from the box. I feel like one of those games is wrong. I don't know which one. I know they played Monster of the Week. I don't know if they played Blades in the Dark. Or was it? Did you say Blades in the Dark?
I did. It was where we go. Blades in the Dark, Kids on Bikes, Monster of the Week, and Urban Shadows.
See, the thing is, like, I haven't been keeping up with the recent ones. I know they played Monster of the Week. I don't know what their systems have been using recently, though. But I feel like one of those games are wrong. So I'm going to say...
Locking that in. That is correct. They have not played Kids on Bikes.
Okay.
Yeah. They did Amnesty.
Yeah, that one seems like...
Mm-hmm.
That one doesn't really seem their speed, unless they're interested, but I don't think it's their speed really.
Yeah,
like it's on bikes.
Yeah, but yeah, they did do Blades in the Dark. That was Steeplechase. So it's not their most recent one that just started, but the one right before that. And they played Urban Shadows. That was Dust. They kind of did that as like a transitionary short campaign. I believe it was called Dust. I might be wrong, but good. Yeah, that's 4 out of 5. You
Hell
just
yeah.
missed the. Honestly, the hardest one was the one on if Eric Ishii has been in the most, because they've been in
Yeah.
a lot of them.
They have been in a lot of them,
Mm-hmm.
and it's great every single time.
It's yeah, so good. Thank you so much for playing. That was so fun. Uh,
Yeah.
so now I would love to give you a chance to shed a spotlight on something happening in the TTRPG world that you think other people should be paying attention to. What do you got for me?
Yeah, I bring to you two APs since we were just talking about APs. I
Mm-hmm.
bring you two of them. The Atomless, it's a Starfinder campaign that has Momo O'Brien, Norden Ali Kadir, uh, Andre Rivera, Super Dylan, and Captain Krail or Matthew Eckberg. They are currently in season 2. They recently had Wally as a guest on there. That the Just follow them, just listen
Mm-hmm.
to their show. It's so good. Matt, Momo, and Dylan do such a great job doing the editing. Because they do live stream. Well, they record their live stream. Well, they pre-record a stream, and then they put that video out, and then they go back and they edit it down
Mm-hmm.
for podcast, for Spotify, Apple, all that good stuff. It's so good. It makes me so emotional. Starfinder, space. You love it. Gotta love it.
You can also see
Uh,
Dylan on our Halloween special. They were played in our little murder mystery. So
yeah.
to plug ourselves.
And I also bring to you Unbeatable. It is a Pokemon TTRPG AP that is run by Obsidian Olive, has Denkles, has Kenna and Birdie. I don't remember their handles, but they are all on it. It's a Pokemon TTRPG. It's so I really enjoy it. Aaron, who is the professor in that, is making that game. Like they are actively making the game while they are playing and recording it. So, and hopefully they're starting up their beta test soon. So you might see some people be like, "Hey, I need some people for a beta test. If you guys want to join in." So it's really good. I really enjoy the show. I'm excited to see what the beta test has in store, so I can get my hands and grubby little hands on the game and be like, oh yes, Pokemon. Because I think the only two other like Pokemon or Pokemon related games that I know of is Monster Care Squad and PTU, which PTU is so goddamn crunchy.
Yeah, there's a lot of it's granola for sure. Um, Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for shedding a spotlight. Now I'm going to turn the spotlight onto you. What projects do you have going on coming up that you want people to be as excited as you are about?
Yeah, so I got a couple of projects. One main thing, check out Critical Misses, Twitch channel and YouTube. We have Morning Ritual. We have a couple of shows going on right now. Right now it's Tiebreaker Resurgence, and soon enough it will be Side Questers. Those are two AP shows. One is anime inspired, and one is World of Wildevere. And those I'm on Tiebreaker Resurgence, and I'm teching Side Questers. So be on the lookout for that. I'm also doing a lot of different media things for Critical Misses. I'm going to PAX U. I'm going to be interviewing some people. You might have seen the interview that I did when I went over to Big Bad Con. I'm just asking people, do you eat dice? I'm trying to make more videos like that. So if you're at those events, be on the lookout for me. I might ask you a question.
I will be there.
A
I will be
project
prepared.
a project that I'm two projects that I'm working on right now. One is Polyhedral. Polyhedral is an interview book. It is a TTRPG interview book in which they talk to different people within the space, whether they are creating the games that you love or they are the performers that you love to see. That is run by HTT Paladin. I transcribe for them. They already released one book that's up on Metalweave Games, and now we are in the process of doing the second book. The Kickstarter isn't out yet, but that will be coming out soon.
It might be out by the time this comes out, so we'll keep an eye out for it. Yeah.
Yeah, keep an eye out for it. And lastly, I am editing an AP right now. Hopefully it'll be out by the time this comes out, but we'll see. It depends on me. It is the Lurking Legends. It is a one-piece D&D 5e adventure that has myself, Wally, Click Clack Snack, and a Fluffy Goomba. And we are doing a round-robin DMing style in which every single island that we go to is going to be run by a different DM. So be on the lookout for that. We all love One Piece. We got a little bit shaken because of the strikes, because we wanted to make sure that we were focusing more on the anime rather than the live action show that had just come out. But now the strikes are over, and now we don't have to worry. Be less worried about that now, so we're a little bit more confident in releasing it now. So hopefully that'll be coming out soon, or will be out now.
Yeah, we'll see. Go drop your socials where people can find you.
Yeah, you can find me all over the internet as Husha_kid or just Husha Kid. Just TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. I don't post there. YouTube. And I mean, if you want to look at just the stuff that I make, you can go to hushakid.wordpress.com.
Everything you just said will all be linked in the description down below for you all to check out. Make sure you do. AJ, thank you so much for joining me. I had so much fun.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank all of you for staying and watching, hanging out with us. As always, I have been Dan the Baker at Dan_the_Baker on TikTok, Twitter, anywhere I want you to find me. Make sure you stick around here at Open Table Adventures. See all of the fun games we have going on. Check out Park Strangers, our Monster of the Week campaign. Check out Neptune's Revenge, our Call of Cthulhu game. We have our Halloween one-shot that came out back in October. We have our Christmas one-shot that's coming out soon. So many more things, so many more interviews. So subscribe, stick around. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and you are always welcome to pull up a seat. Bye-bye.